Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Sky Factory. Now originally I was going to pick up after we had done a little bit more of this housekeeping work, but I looked at this and I looked at that and I was like, oh my gosh, it's just so slow. And so it kind of got me thinking and kind of got me a little bit frustrated with just how slow the generators were going. And I know that people are of course going to suggest like the lava generator and the magma crucible, or well, I guess magmatron or whatever it was, and then using the crucibles to make lava and all that. I get that. I hear you. Trust me, it's not lost. But I think what almost ran off the edge. I think what we're going to do today on this episode is going to be a rather long one, but it's going to be a task that's going to pay off very well for us in the future, and pay out very well in terms of future dividends or whatever you want to call it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually, well, first thing first, I'm going to cook some apples. Hello? Those are already cooked. Choco, what are you doing? All right, like that. All right, so first thing first, I need, God's sake, I don't know how I managed to do this. Like, I honestly do not know. I think it's like a gift I have where my inventory is just forever doomed to be god-awfully organized. But let me go ahead and do that. We're going to store like everything and their dog in here, because I just do not wish to deal with it. Although we did make a little bit of progress between what you guys have seen on YouTube and what is going on now. I'm going to leave those things on my inventory just for the sake of having them there for now. But, oh, actually, I should probably bring my food. Food! All right, there we go. All right, so... Oh, it is turning nighttime. So we do have Invar crop growing here. And of course with Invar, it's going to be a very crucial part in making a whole bunch of the solar panels. So that's why we're getting that rolling. And it's also just kind of useful in general. And we're going to have that running. But for today, we're going to actually be trying to set up more of those auto sieves. Now, auto sieves are not too expensive. Auto sieves are a lot more reasonable than everything else. Auto sieves require string, which we have, if anything, too much of. And then we have requirement for the electrum gear, I believe it is. So let me just quickly, let's just look it up to see what we're looking. Let's go see what we're looking at here. Automatic sieve, there you are. So it's going to require the silk mesh, the Invar, which we're going to need for this, and we're also already growing, and then the electrum thing is just the iron and the electrum ingots. And we actually surprisingly have a fair number of electrum ingots, because, or we can have a lot of, not a lot, but we can have a fair number of them just because of the fact that we have electrum essences that we have the seeds now for. So I just have to rotate the crops out and stuff like that. So it shouldn't be too bad. Also, of course, we can get some more gold and stuff. This, of course, is going to pay out in the long run, which is what Sky Factory is about. It's kind of doing those things that work for the long haul. Now, what exactly is in today's tasks, you may ask? I am glad you all are curious. We're going to be actually making this side of the base. Now, I've been purposely avoiding doing anything too much with this side because I wasn't sure how this was all going to pan out. But I think what we're going to do is I'm going to actually change this side, and I'm going to eventually have to redo this mob grinder. But I'm going to redo this side as kind of the mass resource generation platform stuff. So it should be interesting to see how this all goes. But let me go ahead and just plop down some cobble here, set up our baseline. And then let's go ahead and just expand this out. Now, I do have to make sure that I run this whole area over with slabs and or torches. But this baseline is going to be just kind of a critical point. And this is just going to be a big old strip. And all this is going to be doing is, this is going to be specifically designated for, oh god. Okay, that was scary. I think I just lagged for a moment there. But the whole thing is going to be mainly for setting up just auto sieves, or automatic sieves I should say, and then auto hammers. And you may be like, well, Choco, why is there so much importance? This will eventually turn into something where we don't really have to worry too much about actually maintaining anything. We can just leave these running and we can get ores as we need. We will still have to put them into the smeltery, so the kind of quick thing that we'll gain from this is that we're going to have a lot more things running and gunning for like diamonds and for your vanilla ores certainly, but we're also going to get quite a bit of the other things like Tinker's Construct stuff, which we're sort of running into as an issue now. Also, we are running out of room. We're running out of room for the sand, so I want to go ahead and take the sand out because this guy is crushing it. Now, we got ourselves up to solar panel 4. This thing is able to outstrip the speed at which this is, of course, consuming, which is what's happening right there. So that is, of course, wonderful. That's exactly what we wanted to have happen, because that way we're going to be able to get as much out of that as we can right now. And as the speed requirement goes up, so on and so forth, we're also going to have to worry about making sure that the energy is going to be able to keep up, which is why I'm so bent on getting the solar panels. Those things have a huge buffer, and that's what is really attractive, because they are kind of double as both capacitor and generator, and they don't seem that bad because the capacitor scales exuberantly well. If anything, those things are almost a better capacitor than what some capacitors are, because they're relatively cheap to make for capacity's sake. But they also connect very well, and because they do that, they're basically working like very flat capacitor beds, and that's actually wonderful, because for our energy requirements, that is going to make life a lot simpler. Now, this is, of course, getting a little bit towards the crazy stuff. I placed that block out of fear, not because I'm dumb. I'm not going to deny that either, but I'm not used to seeing a flying baby zombie just zipping around. Sorry. I almost ran off the edge of the world again, and it's scary, man. It's scary. It's really, really scary. All right, so let me go ahead. We'll drop these down. We definitely have to make a lot of torches here, and that is, of course, going to keep us safe. And I think we actually do have to do this for now with torches, because we don't want this to end up being overrun by slabs. Slabs aren't exactly... Well, actually, that's not true. Is that true? No, that's not true at all. We can do this with slabs. I don't know why I just said that. We can absolutely do this with slabs. I was about to say it's because, like, we don't want things kind of floating in the air, but we can just put those down in the spots where there aren't slabs. That's okay. Yeah, so we can do this with slabs. I don't know what I was talking about. Sorry. I know I didn't actually fully express the thought, but, like, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so just boom, 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 boom. We are going to need a lot of this lengthwise thing. What I am going to do, though, is there's going to be one little adjustment here compared to what I normally do, which is I'm going to completely border off the side. And that's to make sure that if something goes wrong, we don't lose everything all at once. Because that would be truly god-awful. That would be not what we want and not what we need. Also, I'm thinking that we might have to go kill some mobs there, because I feel like I'm getting a little bit of chop, and I'm pretty sure that any chop I am currently getting is probably because we have like 9 billion mobs up there. So we are going to go up with trays and just go smack them around a little bit, and then we'll be continuing on with our holy quest here. I'm not going to worry too much about repairing trays for the whole thing. I'm just going to do trays as much as I can. Okay, so down goes trays. Now we're just going to punch them down. Come on. Okay, down. Alright, oop, and then sort of spooky moment there. Smack. Hello? Okay, smack. And then smack. Okay, beautiful. And then smack. Alright, cool. And down they all go. And wow, we got... Even I got stuff. And we're all locked up. Okay, we need to go and organize that loot as well. Those lootations. Let me go ahead and just quickly scan the bags. The bags are, of course, the biggest of the MVPs among the different drops that they do drop. Let's go ahead and put the rares there, the greens there, the whites there. I sound like I'm doing some hardcore discrimination, segregation kind of stuff, which I'm not. For the record, I am not doing that. But, I mean, I guess I'm doing bag segregation, so, I mean, I guess it's not technically untrue. But I'm not doing it that way before I'm accused of anything. Alright. Green, blue. I feel like such a child when I do this. It's like, match them with the right colors, Choco. You can do it. I'm like, of course I can do it. I'm a grown man, for God's sake. Of course I can do this. Alright. There those go. Glowstone sugar, not bad. And naturally, since I'm blind as a bat, I missed a bag. Great. Alright, and then sugar, spice, everything nice. Glowstone, I think we had some in here. Yep, I do. And then we will leave the gold stuff into there. Alright, very, very good. And we have an extra music disc, but we already have like 1 million of them. So, of course we do. Of course we do. All right. And you know what? We may also automate this at some point in the nearest future. We can actually do that right now with the punji sticks and then with vacuum hoppers and stuff. I just haven't gotten around to really doing that yet. And also, I'm not really a huge fan of the idea before we have whatchamacallit. I don't really want to do that too terribly much until we have an ME system, because the organization for that's going to be monstrous. I'm not looking forward to organizing that at all. That is going to be truly awful. All right, so just going to go ahead and put down these slabs everywhere, and we'll break out what we need to. All right, so this is going to be where we run the main transport line. I just want to make sure that this side is, of course, raised up, so if anything goes spewing out the side, we don't lose it forever and ever, because some of this stuff does tend to get a little bit expensive. Alright, so there we go, and then we're just going to have to put the main line here, which means that the main line is going to keep on feeding in this direction, which is going to be a mixture of just kind of all sorts of stuff, but we're going to need that there. We're going to need we could probably do another 2 rows or so here. We don't technically need this one, but it'll give us a little bit of breathing room, so if I need to get around the trees, we can do that, which will be nice. And then the rest, this middle area, for now, I'm going to light up with torches, because that will just be a simple fix, as well as not nearly as annoying to get rid of as slabs. Alright, so that is going to be how it's going to look for now. I'm going to throw away these slabs, except for a stack of them, so let's go ahead and get rid of these 2. The stick can also take a hike. And then we're going to go smelt some more glass down, because we're going to be needing a lot more of those for the solar panels that we're undoubtedly going to need. And then we will continue on with our magical journey, of course. And of course, we have 2 of these solar panels here. They're not going to be doing great, right? Like, let's... Oh. Okay. So apparently it's smelted into super glass. I'm not entirely sure why that happened. Quite clear glass. Who knew? Alright, whatever. I'm not entirely sure how that all works, but sure, why not? I guess there's not really a problem there. I am very, very rapidly noticing I do not have the torches on me, which means that the torches are going to be in here. I do want to make sure that I get these torches out pretty darn soon, because night is descending upon my booty, and I have no torches! How is that possible? I had torches. I swear I did. I'm not making it up, I promise. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, let's go to bed. Let's get daylight back up in here. Oh gosh, that is not exactly what we wanted to find. That's kind of spooky. Oh, please, dear Lord, don't wreck my booty. Alright, down we go. Any mob spawn? Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're all good. Wonder what happened to all of them. We definitely had torches, which is why I'm a little bit concerned about where they all went, but I suppose we'll worry about that at a later juncture, because I don't know what happened. Alright, so there you go. You see all those Invar? It's going to be gorgeous. Actually, let's go ahead and take the Invar essence here. Wait, what? Oh. Huh, okay, interesting. Alright, let's go ahead, give it a go smack, and then just replace all these seeds. And these are just, it's not going to give us a crazy lot, but with Vein Miner, it definitely does make this whole process a little bit easier, because I don't have to do the breaking process, which is nice. But let me just go ahead. And then one more chomp chomp. Very nice. What happened to my torches, man? I know for a fact we had torches. Where's the Invar essence I had here? Unless I also was making Invar essence up. No, I'm not. Okay. So we have 57 of those bad boys. Let's just go ahead and crank out some Invar ingots. Alright, so we're actually doing pretty well on that game. We are going to take the solar panels out now, and then we're going to put them down for the time being so they can help generate some power and whatnot. Let me see. What the fudge did I do with my torches? Okay, I must have just, like, destroyed them or something. I don't know what happened to my torches. We did have torches. I know we do. Or did. I don't know where they are now. And I know it kind of sounds like I'm lying because I don't know where these, you know, so-called torches are. But I promise you we did. I promise I'm not making them up. They were here. They weren't my friends or anything, but they were here, man. They were real. Alright, boom. Let's clear these bad boys out. There's always that little bit of fear as I use Daredevil to clear these out, that I'm just gonna take that one. I'm gonna get tired one day. I'm gonna be grinding on like Sky Factory, and then just like I'm gonna take that one accidental swing, too many, on the floor, and the entire thing is just gonna go bop and gone. It's a pretty serious fear that I have, but I think we'll be okay. I don't really foresee that being too much of a problem. I think we'll be all right, maybe. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bit anxious every single time I think about it, but I think we'll be okay. All right, so there we go. I'll take the torches from this stack of charcoal. So let's just go ahead. We don't need quite that many torches. Let's do like 40 torches. That 40 torches seems reasonable. All right, and then we'll just leave. We'll leave these all here. Now, if I'm correct, yeah. So. Oh, huh, okay, cool. So we're gonna leave a whole panel, and then we'll expand this outward at some point, probably. But we can condense these down without too much of an issue. Condensing these level 1s down is not really a problem. Whenever we have to condense these suckers down from, like, solar panel level 4, that's whenever it gets really costly and kind of annoying to do. But for right now, it's okay. So we're going to go ahead, focus on that. Let's just grab up whatever wood that we left behind. It's going to vein mine the leaves so we can get through this a little bit faster. And then let's go ahead and get the saplings out. Because we do still need these apples. I know that we can technically get away without doing these anymore. We actually have all the stuff that we would need for a chicken farm. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this as a apple kind of operation, because the apples have been doing fine. The apples, honestly, they fill a lot of food up. It feels relatively comparable to meats. Not as good, I don't think. Excuse me, I have the hiccups now. But if I'm not mistaken, I think they give me like similar hunger healing, but they just don't give me as much. Why am I hiccuping so violently? They don't give us as much saturation as meat does. That's what I was trying to say before the hiccups try to end my life. All right, let's put these into there, and we should be coming up on some more glass. Let's go ahead and throw the glass into there. And actually, we should probably make an octetic capacitor for this as well, but that's a future Choco problem. This is not a present Choco problem. All right, so let me go ahead, and we're going to actually break these things down. Ah, crap. I didn't make a wrench, did I? Did I ever make a wrench? I don't... Actually, we might have made a wrench. I vaguely remember us looking at the Yetta wrench, I believe it was. Did I ever make an actual wrench? Let's see, transfer pipes. Wrench. Did we ever make a wrench? I feel like we did make a wrench at some point. Don't remember. Feel like we might have. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wrench. Let's see. Yetta wrench requires electrical steel and basic gear. But is there a cheap one? Tin and iron? Sure, we'll make that wrench. It says hammer stuff, but I think it also functions primarily as a wrench as well. So we just need one thing of tin, and then we need a buttload of iron, which we have a buttload of iron here. And then we can make ourselves a wrench, hopefully. Crescent hammer, sure. All right, let's see if this works the way I think it does. Hopefully it does. If not, we're about to become very, very sad people. All right. And... oh no, I don't like where this is going. You know what, fudge it. I'm not going to risk it. I am not going to risk it. when you fudge up. Oh, okay, there we go. I had to, okay, I was like, wait, maybe it's one of these things, and it was indeed one of those things. All right, so you can be the ringleader. Actually, the ringleader should probably be at the end, so I can quickly just kind of get to it. All right, so the ringleader, we're going to leave over here, and then just like that, all these guys are just... Oh, wait, maybe it doesn't connect that way. Oh, wait, no, it's definitely did something, because this guy's way the heck ahead now. Wait, let's see if it jumps. Do you jump? If it jumps, like if it just suddenly surges, then it is, yeah, okay. So it is transferring actually from this to there. So it is going to help out the other ones, although I definitely should keep, I'm going to have to reorganize that all. Sterling generator, you have been doing fine, but it is, I think, time for you to put up the mantle and for us to worry about that in a different way in a different time. And then we're going to go ahead and actually put the octadic capacitor back here, and we're going to put on the alloy smelter so that way it can be a little bit more efficient with the fuel. And hopefully... Oh, we're broke as fudge, aren't we? Yeah, we're broke. All right, so hopefully that's going to kind of resolve itself. All right, so here's the devil of it, right? We're going to go ahead. We're not going to move the cobble generator now. But what we will do is we'll move these two things, and I'm going to have to, like, kind of not purposely, that's not the right word, but I'm going to have to move them over bit by bit, and I think that this will end up playing out all right for us. But it is going to be a little bit of back and forth. I also forgot entirely to put down the torches, which we should absolutely be doing. So I'm going to go ahead, and we're just going to put the torch line just like that. This will accomplish what we need the torches to do. Let's make sure I'm not about to run off a cliff. Okay. And then that should work fine. Let's get the Sterling generator out here. Put another solar panel down. Very good. We are approaching the afternoon. I'm going to go ahead. God, that's going so slowly. All right, so grab the sand out of there. Get the speed upgrades. And let's just break that down. Break that down. And the reason why they came to a grinding halt is because they have no power. I guess we'll hold on to the gravel. Break you down, and then break you down. And you, of course, are the salty one of the bunch. Okay, there we are. There is our automatic hammer. All right, so we are going to organize this a little bit better, but for now what we're going to do is chances are we are going to make the cobblestone and the resource things kind of stem out from here. So let me just kind of put this kind of more together. So it would lead out here, right? So let me see. Do I have any cobble left on me? I do. All right, let's go ahead. Please do not fall off, Choco. Please do not fall off. That would be so very bad. All right, and then, yeah, we're just going to have to make these link up. So we'll make this like yay wide. And then by doing this, obviously, it'll make our lives a wee bit easier because we won't have to kind of handle all this crap anymore, which will be nice, of course. So let me just fill all that in. Okay, very, very good. It's turning into spooky time, getting closer. So let me go ahead and just... I guess we might as well expand this all the way out. I mean, it's not really a good reason not to. So boom, boom, boom. It is getting into night. Night is not good. We just have like a ludicrous amount of freaking gravel. All right. Run, 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 run. It's nighttime. It is officially nighttime. Things can get spooky now. I need to get out. I need to get these all the way up. And then we have to go sleep. And then it'll be back to day. And day will be great. And I'm going to hopefully be fine. So hopefully. Hopefully being the operative term there. All right. So sleep, 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 sleep. And then we're going to go back. And then we're going to get this all sorted out. And hopefully all in good working order. So let's go back down now. Alright, so the first segment of this is definitely the automatic hammers, right? This will kind of evolve over time, probably to be on the other side whenever we actually have the ability to make a bunch of them. But for right now, we're just going to make this into kind of one super thing here. So we're going to go ahead and make the first level of defense this automatic hammer. This guy, everything must flow through the automatic hammer, so he's going to be the lead-off hitter for us. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to actually put some gravel in there, and then he's going to just kind of keep on crack-a-lacking along. And then we are going to get rid of this. Let's just go ahead and wipe all this out. And then we are going to... Guess we're going to throw all this gravel into here because I'm being lazy. Take the cobble out of there. Great. And then we'll fill out these bad boys. Boom, boom. Lovely. Fill these all out. Oh, actually, yeah, let's adhere to the old protocol here. We're going to make this flush with there. We might as well. If we're going to do a job, might as well do it right. So, boom, boom, boom. Guess we'll just take care of this part now rather than later, because this part kind of stinks. Alright. Okay, boom, boom, boom. So we're going to build out... Ooh, we're back in the magical forest. Interesting. Alright, so we're just going to get this. Bang, bang, bang. And then fill this all out, which is going to lead us to having a generous amount of space. Actually, almost like it's too large of a space. Yep, we're gonna need more cobble. Need more cobble. Cool. All right. And then fill in that last bit of gap. And then we are gonna circle this all the way up. And then we should be good to go. So a pretty hefty expansion to the general size of the base, but in terms of function, it... Oh God! Why do I do that? Okay, sorry. I don't know how I keep forgetting where I make these dadgum holes. Like, you'd think I'd remember. Oh gosh, alright. Then we'll just kind of keep it going on all the way over to here. We will get stopped by the generator. All good. And then for this, I'm just going to put down the torches, I think. I think the torches will do fine, because we're not going to do the generator movement yet. So we just do a quick little spot check. Everything looks good. Very nice. All right, so the way this should work is that the automatic hammer is going to feed into multiple different things, right? Now, because of the way that we have the power running, this power, of course, is just going to be mostly dependent upon this guy. It's going to get the help of other ones, but we want the entire power strip to power everything. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put down our automatic sieve here, but with a catch. Actually, you know what? Do I want to do it this way? You know what? Let's try something new. I'm going to try to do something new here. How it goes, I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully it goes well. Obviously. Obviously we're going to hope for this to go well. I don't know if we're ever going to have a moment where we ever say, I hope this goes terribly, but I think we'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put that transfer node up like this. I think what we're going to actually do is we're going to make some sorting things. So should be interesting. I have never done that on this mod pack. Now, obviously, if we had the ME system, this would be a very easy thing to do, that and Tesseracts, but we don't have that yet because we're not that advanced. So what we need to do is we need to make ourselves some very, very good-looking pipes. Now, transfer pipes are used by transfer nodes to decide where items should go. You can change their basic properties by right-clicking with a BuildCraft compatible wrench or a stick if none is available. You can set them to only flow in a certain direction or not connect to certain inventories. All right, so let me just see here. Let me just see if this is actually going to work the way I think it will work. Now, this may be that this will only work a little bit. Oh. Well, I guess we don't even need all that. Yeah, okay, so that's going to be feeding in sand almost instantly, which is... all right. We have gravel feeding in right now, which is not exactly what I wanted to do. Here, let's take the gravel out. I don't know why the heck I have gravel in there. And then we'll just... This is sort of wasteful, but it's okay. It's alright. I'm sorry. I know this is probably hurting some of you, but we'll be okay. It'll be fine, I think. Alright, we're just going to leave this junk here. Little bits and pieces of that isn't going to really matter all that much. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and lead this sucker out like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do is from there we're going to want them to, of course, then feed into chests, actually. So this isn't exactly going to fly. So let me go ahead, break these down. Because we're going to need to put in quite a few chests here. And then we're just going to have to, I guess... Let me see. Does this work this way? Can I take a torch and can I put it on top of the pipes? If I can put it on top of the pipes, then easy peasy. Easy fix. But I can't. Alright, so... Can I put it on top of this? No, I can't either. Alright, well, let's just move these out then. Let's move these out. One more. One more should be okay. If we move it two more, that's whenever I think we start ending up running into problems. But I think from here it should be fine. We'll do a spot check, of course, so we don't do anything god-awful. Alright, I don't see any yellow X's. Very good. Alright, so there we go. There is that whole part of that equation. And then we're just going to have this feed out into a chest, which, of course, I don't have any on hand, but we have some actually already crafted. I just have to go get them, so let me go grab these real quick. And then chests, there are 6 chests in here, another 6 chests in here. Good, good, good. And obviously we're going to probably have to make some trap chests and stuff like that so we can actually fit them all. We'll... Oh, you know what? We're going to have to... Eventually we're going to have to figure out a different lighting strategy. But for right now, this should be alright. So, we'll just do it like this. That is going to create all that storage. Beautiful. And then that's going to keep on running. I'm going to go ahead and give this all the speed upgrades. So it's going to crush through there. And the reasoning for that is I'm going to end up making some more of those automatic sieves. And then what should happen is it's going to look for open inventories. If it's full, go on to the next one, so on and so forth. And that's going to take out a lot of the guesswork that we currently have to do for a lot of that stuff. So let me go ahead, run back here. And we're going to... Whoop. Hey, stop. All right, we're going to need to get ourselves some of our old stuff that I put away. Electrum gear is one of them. Electrum essence, I will take 18. Invar, I will take, I guess I'll take glass. And I don't know what else I need. All right, so automatic sieve. These things require electrum gear, silk mesh, Invar stuff. So it's mostly this gear here, which is going to require iron, but we don't have quite enough yet. So let me see. We're going to go ahead and combine these. This should give us 4, I believe. Yep, there's another 4. So we can change that or make one of those electrum gears. Cool. And then we just need to get some string, which we have a lot of, thanks to our handy dandy little grinder here. Again, sorry about the sound. I know I'll get on to that whole making the whatchamacallit thing that I forget what it's called every single time because I can't remember it to save my life. I guess we'll just take like a lot of string here, actually. Because, yeah, whatever. We'll get more string anyways. Alright, so, sorry, excuse me. Alright, and then we're just going to go ahead and make these. It's going to be cheaper in the interim to do this than to just make the upgrades. I know some of you guys are probably thinking to yourself, like, well, why don't you just get the speed upgrades? Speed upgrades are way more expensive than the freaking auto sieves are. So just by putting down auto sieves, it makes our life a little bit easier, just kind of quicker. And because the speed is kind of capped, it's going to, of course, do their thing. Now, I'm going to put the fortune upgrades all into one, and we're going to slowly fill them up. And then that way we can focus on doing just fortune upgrades, and then we'll worry about the rest later. Eventually, we will reach a point where this is going to turn into like a giant farm. We're going to probably cut this guy out, change these all into sieves, and then have all the sieves feed into an item system. So that is the game plan. That is the overall goal. Let me see here. I need to make the actual sieves. Derp. So let's go over and make those. I think we actually have some Invar ingots somewhere, or nuggets. Don't we? I feel like we do. Although for the life of me, I can't remember where I put them. Alright. Invar, let's go. And then Invar into there. And then automatic sieve. There's our 2 automatic sieves. Good, good, good. And then... We'll just do it like so for the time being. Alright, cool. So that, whenever that gets full, that should continue filtering out to the rest of them. Of course, it is currently out of cobble, so it is kind of a moot point at the moment. Let me just grab some cobble from here. And then we're just going to have to... I think we're going to move the generator, actually, over to the side here, so it's kind of out of the way. A little bit more, because this is obviously kind of in the way of everything. Although, how much are transfer pipes? Were the transfer pipes expensive? I can't remember how expensive transfer pipes were. If transfer pipes are relatively inexpensive, I guess we could just like feed them over. Aluminum, glass, and redstone. Okay. So with enough aluminum, we can make the dream happen. We can definitely make the dream happen. We just have to get enough aluminum to justify it. All right. So that is, wow, that's just pumping along. All right. So there's that guy going. And then we have some of this kind of filtering into there. Perfecto. And then for these two guys, I'm actually going to have them, I think I'm just going to have them hang out for now. I'm just going to leave them there for the time being. We are definitely going to need to make use of this stuff in a later point, but for right this particular moment, I'm going to go ahead, change this back to daylight so the power is back to generating, because we obviously want that to generate, and then we're going to have to kind of mess with a little bit of the tinkering around of the specifics of how this is going to work, because now we're getting towards automation. We're getting towards becoming OP. There's going to be a very massive spike when this happens, because suddenly I'm going to have like all the ore I could ever want, and I'm going to be able to do everything I want. It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to be running through a field of flowers with you, spinning you around, and we're going to make like little dandelion wreaths for our hair. It's going to be great. I don't really know how that all came onto my mind, but you know what? It does not sound bad. So let's go ahead, drop these down. Boom, 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 boom. And actually, one of my favorite things at this particular point in this series is I can do this. And then it may not, it's not a lot, right? Like, I understand that we could have made this operation a lot bigger. Redstone is really great for this, but if with a redstone crop, I just take that, and it's just so cool that this makes 24 redstone. It's so much more than you'd expect, which is what's really weird about it. Because at least for me, I never thought that would be how much of a ratio you would get on that. I thought that would be miserable ratios, but it's actually pretty good. So kind of a surprising thing there. Anywho, neither here nor there, I suppose. We're gonna go ahead and actually, I'm gonna actually do something that's unspeakable. I'm gonna throw the gravel away, because gravel is not really my main priority right now. We will keep the sand because we want to break the sand down into glass, and so obviously we could have just, like, I guess, cycled that into the whatever the thing is called. I already forgot what the thing was called. The what is it called? We could have put it back into the automatic hammer, but that's not what we're gonna do. So, you know, I'm savage. All right. Now we just need aluminum seeds, and then after I do that, I think we're going to go back into grind mode. I'm going to go ahead and grind on stream for a while until we reach kind of what we need to be at. And then you guys, whenever we get back for the YouTube side of things, we'll be back after we are... Oh, wait, duh. I was like, I'm all surprised, like, oh, wow, we have the aluminum right here. Of course you have the aluminum right here, Choco. You put it there. And I put it I put it there right before the episode too, so I have no idea why I was just like so baffled. I was like, wow, my dreams. All right, let's put these down here. Break them down. Take the aluminum ore. Dadgummit. I hate my life. For those of you who know that what's going through my head right now, why? Did they? No, they did. Dadgummit. All that whatever crushed ore stuff. I think we had one aluminum, which is what we need for that one little bit. But it's being a butthead. Ugh. All right. Okay, and it doesn't actually matter because we have some here anyways. So, take that aluminum ore. Think you all dat? You ain't that good. All right. And then crush to dust. And then we have 33 dust. Do I have 3 survivors? 3 aluminum survivors. Ooh, 45. Do I have 3 more? 3 more? 3 more? No, 1 more? 1 is not exactly... Oh. Well, I mean, I guess technically we could just think of it as like being 1 over. No, that's not bad. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. And then we'll throw this all into there. And then I think that gives us, what, 22 ores worth, which is actually a lot more than what we're going to be requiring. Now, in truth, like, right, to be completely honest about this whole thing, it would be more sensible just to move the generator over, right? But we've had this generator here. I think we're going to leave this as like a landmark because this was the start. This was the start of all things. I think we're going to leave this center area always this way. It's going to turn into like a little kind of like a park. It's like Central Park for our Sky Factory, because this honestly was like where everything began. I really don't want to move it if I could. It'd be nice if I could just avoid that entirely. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Automatic hammer, of course, it finishes Jorb. It's still rocking out power. We're pretty much capped. Oh, it's even starting to spill into there. So, okay, cool. Making some gains, making some sweet gains. All right, well, let's go ahead and make transfer pipes, and we're going to feed them over. Feed the transfer pipes over in turn. Oh, right, I didn't get the ore back. All right, so we're going to go ahead, get the aluminum out of here. Yeah, we did have 22 worth, which means that we're going to have 4 extra ingots, which is totally fine. So 2, 3, and then 4. And that should do it for that. Actually, we may not even have enough for even that. So we'll see. I was going to really make seeds out of this, but at this point, I think I might as well just kind of ferry them back and forth. Probably not the smart decision, but regardless shall be the decision that I make. So, really? Oh, my... Oh, Choco, one day you will learn not to be dumb. One day, one of these days, I will get my life together with all this junk. All right. 24 transfer pipes. Can't really go wrong with having too many of these at the moment. Then we'll just go ahead and... we can just... So we'll take the world interaction upgrade out. Take the cobblestone out of there. Break this. Alright. And then break that down. I guess we can... I don't even know why we never did this, but we can get rid of this now, because we don't use that anymore. And then break this. Alright, cool beans. And then I guess we'll throw that away. Throw the cobble away. Alright, and then we just have to get the transfer node out. Transfer node onto there. Transfer node with world interaction upgrade. There, it's going to start getting that stone, the cobblestone that is. And then we're just going to have to feed all of that into here. So let me just go ahead and feed that on over. Alright, doop. Perfect! Aha! And we even have 8 to spare. So we're going to go ahead and just extend this pipeline out, because I'm crazy. So doop. Aha! Wonderful. Okay, so we could eventually have quite a few of these stations. Awesome. And then, okay, so here are the different phases of how this will go if I remember to do this correctly. Currently, it looks like this. The next revision of this is going to be that we are going to, of course, have enough production coming out after we get these all upgraded that we're going to start wanting to expand them outward. And then these will turn to these giant resource farms that are going to expand outward that way. We're going to expand so it's flush with that probably. But each of these is going to turn into a hammer module. And then we're going to have, because this guy, it didn't really seem like we were ever really held up by the cobblestone generation. It just doesn't really seem to be the issue. So I'm assuming we'll be fine in cobblestone generation, but we're just going to go ahead and fill up every single one here, although it's sort of lagging behind. But I think it's just taking a while to find out where the cobblestone generator is. So either way, regardless, for right now, this part, eventually expanding it probably out that way, making long farms, and eventually a Tesseract will probably be involved in all sorts of manner of craziness and madness. So we are going to get OP. We are on the way to getting OP. It's just taking a while. But I did want you guys to be a part of this particular part of the process because it is a pretty significant change. It's a pretty significant upgrade, especially because we are now starting to get into the whole, like, we are now in the belly of the beast, right? We are now really getting into some truly OP kind of stuff. So I'm personally quite looking forward to it. I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm very much looking forward to getting an ME system in place because this is currently only words that I think would be quite right as hot and mess. We're definitely going to need some sorting pipes and stuff like that because this is currently going to be just kind of madness. But at least we have this. We can just auto sort everything and make our life a little bit easier. All right, so anyways, good rules. Neither here nor there. We do have these bad boys going. I'm clearly going to need to make another transfer node which is, I think I can just do it with a regular pipe. Yep, and then we're just going to need a block of redstone. And some stone, actually, that's not expensive. Let's do that right now. You guys and me, right now, we're doing this. Cooked apples are not the main priority. I just need to make one of these, so I just need 2 stone. 2 stone, 2 measly stone is all I need. And then I'm going to take the redstone, make a redstone block out of it, which would have normally been something I would have been like, I have to do what? But now it's not too bad. Redstone. And then more redstone, and then a chest. So perfect. We have everything that we need. Just need this 2 stone, and we can make this all. Boom. All right, cool. And then transfer node, create. Oh, wait. No. I can do this with an ender pearl. With an ender pearl, I make 4 pearl. It is beautiful. I will do that instead. All right, ender pearl, and then haha, and then hoo-hoo, and then hee-hee. Okay. Sorry, Cobble. Somehow, amidst all this, you were voted off the island, despite you not being the worst in the inventory. Alright, and now we are going to make ourselves... What? Oh, dadgummit, hold on. I need to go rip one of the pipes off. Pipe! Come here. Alright. Now we are truly ready! Good lord. Alright, so now we are actually ready, I think. So, dadgummit. Now it's on the right spot. Alright. Take 9 million! I swear to God, there is only so much Chocobo can take. What the heck happened? We have a chest. We have everything. Game? Hello? Chest. 2 stone. It's like the freaking crap. The ender pearl's in the middle. I think it was like redstone around the sides, and then like the pipe on top. Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid butthead game. Not making me do stuff, you butthead. Freaking what the fudge, man. Here I am, hard-working Chocobro, just trying to make an honest day's like living here, and you just make my life hard for no reason? Nah, mate. I ain't about that. I ain't gonna take any of your sass. I'm gonna take none of it. Okay, go back up, grab myself some daylight, because that's totally how that works. Kappa, kappa, kappa. And then we're going to go and make our lovely way back into daylight. And then from daylight, we're going to just take one last look at our beautiful production lines and just be fabulous. Absolutely fabulous like this. Look. Let's just look. 3 sieves, all there. The speed upgrades is a kind of a reminder for why speed upgrades are a pain in the butt to make. So speed upgrades require us to have a butt ton of whatchamacallits. No, wait, this isn't even the right one. What am I talking about? These are the ones we need. So these ones require Invar, but this pyrotheum dust is what's really getting us. We are going to need to eventually make something that is going to run through and create blaze powder for us. So that's why we're going to eventually have to make a weird modification here, where it's going to have to split into a separate inventory, and then we're just going to have another one that's going to pound something into gravel, or not pound gravel, from gravel, it's going to pound that into sand, then from sand to dust, and then we're going to have that filter out. Eventually, that'll be one of the things that we add. That way we can just keep on doing this. But for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and leave it with this. I may do this part off camera, because it's the same premise behind this, except we're just adding an extra node, right? So maybe we'll even do it along the back line here. Not sure yet. Or maybe I guess we could even do it here. We can just add it as another station. Never really thought about that way, but yeah. Regardless, I'll figure it out. We're going to do some massive kind of like upgrades, but they'll be very gradual and time consuming. I don't want to make you guys just kind of sit there and wait for those things to happen if you guys are watching on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead, spend some time with stream, hang out, just chill, and then we're going to go get a lot of these things done, get some pretty good solid upgrades in there, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll do like a time lapse of it actually. That probably would be the right thing to do. So, alright guys, I will see you guys later. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like on the episode. If you are new and haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe and you'll be notified when I get the next video out there. So take care everyone, and have a wonderful day. Bye!